The music was still pounding when a scream tore through the hallway, and every head snapped toward the locked conference room. 5 seconds later, the door flew open, and I knew my career and someone else's marriage had just blown apart. Until that moment, I thought it was just another awkward company party with cheap wine and forced smiles. But when I saw my boss stumble out, pale and shaking, followed by a girl everyone recognized, the entire ballroom froze. Phones rose, whispers rippled, and my stomach sank. That was the second everything changed. Even though the warning signs had started hours earlier, I had worked at Horizon Digital for 4 years, grinding through late nights and chasing promotions that always felt just out of reach. My boss, Marcus, was the type of leader who smiled in meetings and yelled behind closed doors. Still, he controlled bonuses, references, and futures. That night's party was meant to celebrate a major contract win, the kind that kept our salaries paid for months. I arrived with my fiancée, Lara, hoping to network and finally be seen. Instead, I found myself watching Marcus more than the dance floor, sensing a tension that didn't match the cheerful decor. Marcus showed up late, wearing a stiff smile and checking his phone every few minutes. He barely acknowledged his wife, who stood near the bar talking with investors. Nearby hovered a new junior employee, Nina, nervously twisting her purse strap. I remembered training her the month before. She was smart, quiet, and careful with every word. When I offered her a drink, she whispered, "Just water, big night." Something in her voice unsettled me. Lara nudged me and joked, "Your office drama face is back." I laughed, but I kept watching Marcus and Nana. This wasn't just gossip. Marcus controlled a promotion I needed to afford our wedding. Lara and I had booked a small venue and paid deposits. Losing this job wasn't an option. So when Marcus motioned Nana toward the hallway and disappeared with her, my heart started racing. It wasn't jealousy. It was fear. Fear that something ugly was happening behind our company's polished image. I tried to ignore it, but Lara whispered, "Did you see that?" I nodded, realizing I wasn't alone in feeling the shift in the room. 10 minutes passed, then 15. People noticed Marcus was gone. The music continued, but conversations softened. I walked past the hallway, pretending to check my phone, and saw the conference room door closed. The occupied sign flipped. Shadows moved behind the frosted glass. I texted the team group chat. "Anyone know where Marcus went?" One coworker replied, "Probably hiding from investors." Another sent a laughing emoji, but my chest tightened. Lara stood beside me and murmured, "This doesn't feel right." She was right. Curiosity turned into dread. Suddenly, Nana's phone buzzed loudly on a small table near the hallway. She had left it there earlier. The screen lit up with a message preview. "Hurry, they're asking questions." I wasn't proud, but I read it. Lara saw it too. We exchanged a look that said everything. I picked up the phone to return it just as Marcus's wife approached and asked, "Have you seen my husband?" My mouth went dry. I handed her the phone and said, "He went that way." Her eyes narrowed, and she walked toward the hallway with a determination I'd never seen. A small crowd gathered, pretending not to stare. Someone whispered, "Is this really happening?" Another muttered, "This is going to be messy." Marcus's wife knocked hard on the conference room door. No answer. She knocked again and shouted, "Marcus, open the door!" Chairs scraped inside. Nana's voice came muffled through the door. "Wait, please." The words sent chills through me. The event coordinator lowered the music, and the room fell silent except for the knocking. Everyone knew a scandal was unfolding, and no one wanted to miss it. Security was called. Two guards approached, uncertain. Marcus's wife crossed her arms and said coldly, "Either he opens this door or you will." One guard hesitated, then nodded. Lara squeezed my hand painfully tight. My phone buzzed with messages. "This is insane. Record it. Don't get involved." I was caught between responsibility and shock. The guard counted down 3, 2, and before 1, the lock clicked. The handle turned slowly. That second stretched forever, heavy like the calm before a storm. The door opened, and Marcus stumbled out first, shirt wrinkled, face flushed. Behind him stood Nana, eyes red, clutching a folder to her chest. The room gasped. Marcus's wife stared at him. "Are you serious?" Marcus raised his hands and stammered. "It's not what it looks like." Someone laughed bitterly. Another guest started recording openly. I expected Nana to run, but she stepped forward and said, "I didn't agree to this. You promised to fix the numbers." That sentence hit harder than anything else. The story shifted instantly. Marcus snapped, "Stop talking." But Nana continued, voice shaking. "You locked the door because you didn't want anyone to hear you asking me to change the client reports." Shocked murmurs spread. Marcus's wife looked between them. "What numbers?" Nana opened the folder and pulled out printed emails. "These. He's been hiding losses to protect his bonus." I felt sick. This wasn't just betrayal of a marriage, it was betrayal of the company. Marcus lunged for the papers, but security stopped him as chaos erupted. Marcus's wife took the documents with trembling hands. "You lied to me, and everyone." Marcus shouted, "You don't understand the pressure." She replied calmly, "Pressure doesn't excuse corruption." Someone had called the CFO, who arrived minutes later, pale and furious. He looked at Marcus and said, "We'll talk Monday. Don't come in." Police sirens echoed faintly outside, called by the venue manager. Marcus collapsed into a chair, head in his hands. Nana stood near security, shaking but steady. The party was over, replaced by silence and glowing phone screens. Later, guests drifted out, whispering and replaying videos. Lara and I sat in the car without speaking. Finally, she said, "You almost lost your promotion tonight, but you gained the truth." I nodded. On Monday, HR confirmed Marcus was suspended pending investigation. Nana was protected as a whistleblower. The office felt strange without Marcus's booming voice, but lighter, like air after a storm. People treated each other more carefully. I realized how close we'd been to celebrating lies. 2 weeks later, the results came in. Marcus was fired. The company apologized publicly. Bonuses were frozen, but jobs were safe. Nana thanked me quietly for returning her phone. "That moment forced everything into the open," she said. Lara and I simplified our wedding plans. And oddly, I felt proud. Not of the scandal, but of getting through it with integrity. The office slowly healed, rebuilding trust again, one honest step at a time, one conversation at a time. Months later, I was promoted, not because of office politics, but because leadership needed stability and transparency. On my first day in the new role, I stood in the same conference room where everything had unfolded. The memory still felt heavy, but it also pushed me forward. Laura texted, "I'm proud of you," and I smiled. The company rolled out stricter ethics policies, and everyone was required to attend training sessions. It wasn't exciting, but it was necessary. That night showed me how quickly reputations can collapse and how easily silence turns into guilt. I promised myself I would never protect wrongdoing just to protect comfort. When I look back, I can still hear the sound of that door unlocking and the gasp that followed. 5 seconds changed everything because the truth finally stepped into the light. That party didn't just expose a cheating boss. It revealed how fragile trust really is and how powerful honesty becomes when someone is brave enough to speak. I learned that staying quiet is sometimes the same as choosing a side. So, if there's one lesson I carry with me, it's this. When the door to the truth opens, don't look away.